I still love you.
What's up guys, Spacelord here. This is going to be my second community video. These are videos where basically I just talk a little bit about what's going on in my life. I respond to some topics that my patrons wish me to talk about, and usually I will respond to some random YouTube comments. So first of all, I'm sorry it's been so long since I had a last video. I've been really fucking busy with work lately. Without going into too much detail, basically the nature of my work is that I have long periods of time where basically I don't really have to do fucking much of anything, and then I'll get slammed where I'm working 7 days a week, 14 hours a day, and that's kind of been where I've been going on with me. Since my last video, I've just been working constantly, and you know, by the time I do have a little bit of free time, it's mostly just to drink a beer, visit with my family a little bit, and crash out. I've been watching a little of the Narcos show on Netflix, which is actually a really good show. And I've been watching that one on my own. I usually have like a show I watch on my own, and then I have something I'm watching with my wife. We've been watching Marco Polo. That's a pretty good show too, although between the two I really like Narcos. The Marco Polo show, even though, you know, it's a pretty decent show, it has fuck all to do with history. I mean, it absolutely has nothing really to do with Marco Polo, other than the fact that he's an Italian trader and Kublai Khan is in the show. Other than that, everything else is complete horseshit. Like, he gets abandoned there by his father and basically goes, you know, half Chinese and fucking learns kung fu and shit. it's you know, like when I say it, it sounds really fucking stupid, but you know, if you just forget the fact that he's Marco Polo, I wish they wouldn't have, they should have just fucking left out the Marco Polo part. I would have actually appreciated that instead of trying to make it historical. It really pisses me off when they make something that's based on a historical thing and then they just kind of completely fuck it up. I mean, if you're just going to have a completely fictional story, why don't you just fucking tell a fictional story? And I know probably what some of you are going to say is that I'm being hypocritical because I've talked about the movie 300 and how that's my favorite movie. And that movie obviously has some pretty crazy shit going on in it. Although, interestingly enough, 300 does, in the main, kind of stick with a lot of history in the broad strokes of it. But, you know, they have weird shit like, you know, mutant fuckers, and I think there was like a fucking ginormous rhino and shit in it. And that kind of bothered me at first in 300 until I realized that when you get to the end of the movie, the whole movie is being told by that one dude who survived and kind of went back. And so the way I interpret it, the way I get around it, you know, and I managed to sleep at night with this being my favorite movie, is that, you know, the guy that's telling the story, you know, he's fucking, you know, he's stretching it out. You know, it's like a war story. He's like, yeah, there was fucking mutants with no fucking hands and hooks and shit, and fucking sluts everywhere with fucked up faces and rhinos and just all kinds of shit, man. It was crazy. So let's go kill some Persians. You know, that's the way I interpret it, so it's all right. But the Marco Polo show, it acts like it's kind of trying to be like, this is what happened. You know, that's the difference. If you throw in like really crazy shit like mutants and giant rhinos, you're kind of showing your hand at that point. But Marco Polo, for the most part, doesn't have any crazy shit. Like, it has like ninjas and shit, but I mean, you know, whatever. It is fucking China, so. And then the Narcos show, I mean, I don't really know a lot about that fucking subject, but as far as I can tell, it's pretty accurate. It's all based on the Colombian drug trade and the cocaine. And, you know, for the longest time, it sat there and I fucking, you know, it's like a suggestion. And really, you know, like their little thumbnail or whatever and trailer, I didn't find it all appealing, but I just said, fuck it. I needed something to watch and drink a beer one night after work. And I really got into that fucking show. So, you know, I say try it out. You know, I'm not really into like cop shows or whatever, but this one's actually pretty interesting. It's kind of a character study on a fucking drug lord, and I always find those interesting. to find, because there's a lot of similarities between like a drug lord and like a fucking like a tyrant or something like that, a despot. And so it's interesting, how that sort of all plays out psychologically, especially when you have one of the richest, I think he was like the 6th richest guy in the world at one point, and he's in Colombia, so he basically has more manpower and resources than the government itself. So it's a really crazy situation compared to like even someone that a drug lord in the United States. But there are parallels too, because if you think about it, there's people that are very rich in the U.S., people like George Soros and shit that have huge amounts of influence and power, behind the scenes and shit. So, I mean, I don't know. It just makes you think about a lot of shit, especially because it's true. Check them out if you got Netflix and, you want something to watch. I didn't really expect to fucking talk about Netflix shows for so long, but I don't know. That's kind of what's been going on. Other things have been going on. Well, one thing, I'm actually going to make a series on this. I want to make some videos and talk about this, actually. And this ties into some of the questions that I have. But I've actually, for the past few weeks, been undergoing testosterone treatment. I know that sounds pretty fucking crazy. And it's a long story. And, I think it's kind of actually an interesting one. I was going to say just leave it. I was just going to say I was undergoing hormone treatment, but then, you guys probably think I'm going trans. That would be kind of amusing as well. But no, I've been getting fucking testosterone treatment, and I've had some fucking medical issues going on, and I'm gonna talk about it. I haven't really made, other than my community video, and even there, I don't really get into my life too much, and I haven't really made any personal videos, but this is one that I kind of want to talk about just because I think there's a lot of useful information for guys. Like, because I would have not thought that I needed this sort of thing. And most other people wouldn't have either. So it was kind of shocking. So anyway, I want to talk about that, but I'm going to make that a separate deal. All right, my first Patreon comment/question comes from Stasis. He says, you mentioned some life changes. How's that going to affect your stream? What about the election? What new games do you like? And maybe a follow-up on how Stream Slut series is going. All right, so what the life changes thing, that's something I kind of mentioned to some people in Discord, and I kind of talked about. By the way, if you're not on my Discord, I'll leave a link down in the description. Everyone is welcome to come and join Discord, and when I'm not working my ass off, I try to hang out and chat with people a little bit and stuff, and it's just people from the community, so generally decent people, other than Alex, who kind of shits up the place, but that's okay too. And basically what he's referring to here is the fact that my employment for various reasons is only going to extend through December, which as of now gives me another 3 months, after which, unless I find some other opportunities, I will be unemployed. Now, while I don't like to go into too much detail about my employment and etc., I can tell you this: I'm not so much getting fired as is basically the entire field that I'm working in is just fucking falling apart. It's all getting shit on, and approximately a third of the people are getting fucked over. So yeah, as far as how that's going to affect my stream, I mean, to be perfectly honest, although you may not want to hear it, whether or not I can stream hasn't been my top priority. More as like, how am I going to keep my lights on and food on the table for my family? Because of course I do not live off of YouTube. I'm not some big YouTuber. I'm a little YouTuber who does this on the side. So hopefully, things will work out. I'm not that worried. I'm not overly proud. I come from humble upbringing. So if need be, I will fucking go clean toilets at Walmart or fucking work fast food. I'll do whatever I have to do to keep money coming in. I have been working on it diligently. That's also part of why I've been a little busy trying to, open up some avenues and stuff. So we'll see how it goes. Other than that, I mean, there's not much I can say about it. If there was going to be like some serious problem, where basically I wasn't going to be able to do anything, I would let you guys know, the situation, and it would be, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. That's fucking life. I'm not too worried about it. I've had shit in my lap before, and I'm sure I will in the future. You just got to roll with the punches. And Stacy says, what about the election? I've tried not to get too political just because, because I guess I don't want to piss people off. I don't want to just annoy people. And in American politics, especially, everything is just fucking, there's a lot of friendships severed and shit because people cannot discuss things civilized or cordially or whatever. Everybody just gets pissed off about it. But I mean, I think people who know me know I am right wing. I'm not a conservative. I'm a traditionalist. And I haven't really been involved in politics not for many, many years, because I do not like Democrats or Republicans. I don't like the establishment. I think the majority of politicians are crooked as fuck. I think the game is rigged. And I think the majority of candidates who run for at least federal positions are more or less pre-selected and handed to us. So I just don't fucking bother. With all that being said, as many people know, I am a very avid Trump supporter. If you're not, that's okay, but I am. And I have absolutely zero love or patience for Hillary Clinton. I really, really dislike that woman. I dislike her more than I like Trump. So that even if, say, some retard like Jeb Bush had won the nomination, which is who was supposed to win, by the way, I would probably have rallied out to vote just to try to stop Hillary. The main reason being that I think both the Hillarys, both Bill and Hillary, have fucking sold our country out time and time again. I think she's, an establishment fucker that just wants to get rich off this shit. And there's all kinds of shady stuff. And I would say if you dislike Trump or, you like Hillary Clinton, I would say, take an honest look at the WikiLeaks. Take an honest look at some of the information that's come out, and think about what she's been deleting and hiding, and just, take that into consideration. But ultimately, people are going to vote how they're going to vote, and I have no real desire to try to change people's minds. I don't know. I don't think that people really change much in terms of politics. To be honest, I don't really understand the people that are sort of undecided, between Hillary and Trump, because to me they appeal to like fundamentally different mindsets, fundamentally different worldviews, and so, unless you just have no foundation, you don't really know what you believe in or stand for, I don't know how you could be undecided there. I don't know. Because me, with my fundamental principles and the way I understand and believe the world works, my mind is, pretty much made up instantly. And the biggest one, in this election is that I'm a nationalist over a globalist. I prefer to do what's in the best interest of my country. And I expect other peoples and countries to do the same thing. So, but that's politics. What new games do I like? Well, I mean, it's kind of funny with games, like new games, because a lot of times I actually play games that have been out for quite a while. So rather than, like new as in they just came out, because I rarely pay attention to games. I don't like buying games when they come out, and I never pre-order games because too much of the gaming industry now is built on hype and shit like that. So I prefer to wait. I prefer, and I like games to come down. I've changed that a little bit since starting this YouTube channel, just because, I want to have like newer games and shit. Before the YouTube channel, generally I wouldn't play games until, they were like older, and plus they're fucking cheaper and shit. But here lately, I mean, the games I've been playing, I haven't had a lot of time. But just within the past couple months, I've been playing Grand Theft Auto 5, which is sort of the background video for this. It's the background footage, I should say. Although even more than just the game, I really like the fucking racing in it. I don't know, it's some of the funnest racing I've ever played. And I've played some of the newer racing games. I think it's just because of the stunt shit and the flips and the jumps and stuff. I don't know. It's pretty fun, although the loading screens are really fucking stupidly long. It takes a while to get into a match, and so that's kind of annoying. And there's no way to do like a single player like race against computers or whatever, so you have to play against other players, and you know, if they don't fucking load, they're not there. That kind of sucks. What else? I've been getting back into Smite lately. I did have a stream the other night. I managed to stream. Taco and I, we streamed for a bit. We played some Smite, so that's been fun. Still enjoying playing the more casual modes of that shit. Been checking out some of the new gods that have come out since I fucking haven't been playing Smite forever. And I've been playing some Overwatch with Taco, although I'm not crazy about the game. I'm kind of neutral on it. I have fun playing with like Taco. I like playing games socially, so it's kind of fun just to bullshit around and play. It's not really a game I would play on my own. It's you know, it's a team battle game. I don't want to call it a MOBA. I got in a big fucking argument during my stream on this. My 24-hour stream, you know, I'm not going to call it a MOBA, but whatever. You know, if I'm going to play like a multiplayer kind of fucking fighting game like that, then I would just rather play Smite. To me, Smite is a lot more fun than Overwatch. Overwatch is okay, but it's really fucking simple. It's really simple, you know. You don't have a, you know, there's not like a lot going on. Like, you don't have a lot of abilities. There's not really a lot going on in terms of objectives. You just kind of fucking wander over and, you know, fight over a point or whatever. There's no items. There's no leveling up. There's none of that shit. But like I said, it's okay. It's about, you know, it's all right. I like playing with Taco, so it's fine. That's about all I can think of that I've been playing. I bought fucking Tropico 5. I've been playing a little bit of that. I think I wanted to play that because I was watching the Narcos. And when the intro to Narcos has this fucking like tropical music, you know, like South American shit, and it kept making me think of Tropico. So I kind of been playing Tropico 5. I don't know what I think about if you play the Tropico series. Like, I've played all of them, including the pirate one, and I like it, but I don't know. Like, some things are better than 4 because, you know, like most of them have all been pretty much the exact same game, and in 5 they actually did make changes. A lot of people like to talk up the fact that Tropico 5 has, like, military units, but it's not really that big of a deal. I mean, yeah, you can build, like, a military base, and then you get tanks, but it's not like fucking it's not like you're microing, like an RTS or something. It's just, they just run out and they fight. So, I mean, graphically there's a difference, but otherwise, and I think you can get jets later or something. I don't know. I haven't gotten that far, but, I mean, it doesn't really make a difference. It's just sort of like more powerful things, and they go out and they fight on their own. And in a lot of ways, I mean, I think they've kind of simplified it down. You've lost a lot of options in some of the buildings, but other than that, that's about it. That's the only gaming I've been doing. I've actually mostly been enjoying just fucking playing more Smite. And I know I've played the fuck out of Smite, but I don't know. I really enjoy playing that game, even though I fucking, you know, I've got everything unlocked and whatever. And I don't plan on being competitive with it. I just really enjoy grinding the game. Alright, this is already getting to be a pretty long video, longer than I think. I'm rambling. I'm rambling because I feel like I haven't talked to you guys for so long. Alright, so Hank says, I don't know about the elections as a topic. Not sure if a video of you yelling Trump for 10 minutes would be fun to watch. Right. Exactly. So he knows. I like the idea of what kind of games you're thinking of using in the future and what kind of stuff you got in store. Okay, so the games I've touched on a little bit. You know, I have been thinking about it, and I've been conscious of trying to improve the gameplay side of my videos a little bit. You know, honestly, for a long time, it's not something I really thought of. It was just I kind of slapped something in the background. But here lately, I've been trying to make it something more enjoyable to watch because, you know, like in retrospect, looking back, I realized like some of my videos, it's fucking boring, like what's going on in the background gaming. So, you know, I'm trying to make it more visually appealing, something with stuff going on. I think Smite, Overwatch, GTA 5 are all kind of nice choices for right now. Although, you know, I wouldn't mind, at this point, I wouldn't mind trying out some new games or just getting games and playing them to use as background. If I knew a few of you wanted to see it. I know Battlefield 1, which I'm kind of torn about because I really love the idea of like that time period, but also for, I've kind of been where I don't like buying EA games because I hate them as a game company. But I don't know, let me know in the comments, like if there's games that you're interested in me playing. And every time I say that, there's like fucking 50 people saying CSGO. And really, I'm not like a first person shooter guy. The only reason I like the Battlefield ones is because you can get in fucking vehicles and shit, so I can kind of stand a chance. I'm not really that good at first-person shooters, so it would just be pretty fucking shitty, I think, in general. And plus, I feel like fucking every commentator video channel on fucking YouTube uses CSGO or something like it, so I don't know. Yeah, if you got a suggestion besides CSGO, let me know. Hank also wanted to know what kind of other stuff I've got in store. I actually have lots of good ideas, hopefully, for videos that I want to talk about. I want to mix things up a little bit. So in some sense, I want to continue doing some of the videos that I've been doing, fucking ripping down some dumb feminists and social justice warriors and shit like that. I want to continue doing that. But I don't want to be just like all fucking reacting to things, because to be honest, that kind of shit gets me down, and sometimes like I just don't see a video that I like, and I don't want to try to fucking jump on news shit, like be a rip-off fucking Scares or Keemstar, or try to fucking make a video about Keem's drama with fucking Leafy, or this bitch fucking farted while she was streaming, I don't know, just a little bullshit. It's just fucking kind of depressing, to be honest, and I don't give a fuck, and it's just fucking stupid. Unless there was like some really funny shit, I mean, honestly, for a while, I was trying really hard to fucking like figure out like, what kind of videos should I be making in order to get subscribers and to grow on YouTube and, all of this shit. But anymore, I just don't really give a fuck, especially like with the bullshit that's going down. And I might make another video on that. It would be a really short video, but with everybody getting demonetized, and yes, it's been happening to me too, and everything's getting fucked right now. And just to be clear, the vast majority of my monetary support comes from my patrons. So, thank you very much to my patrons who, help me to do this. Because right now, unless you're running one of these fucking beauty channel videos, or you're like showing kids playing with Legos, you're getting fucking demonetized and flagged and shit. And I think in some sense, it proves that like some of the information I got was kind of legit. And, because like I talked before about whether or not I was going to get banned off YouTube and what was going to go down with that. And while I haven't seen, like community strikes, like those are the kind that'll get you in trouble and get you banned. More what I'm just seeing is everybody getting demonetized, which for me, it's like, again, it's kind of like whatever. I mean, it kind of sucks, obviously. Nobody likes to lose money, but it's not really that much money in the first place. So it's not like I'm fucking living off it. It's just like a little something extra, honestly, with the ad revenue. So between all of that shit, I at this point, I'm just like, fuck it. I'm going to make the kind of videos I want. And I don't really care if I gain subscribers or lose subscribers. I feel like I have a little core of people, and you know who you are. And I'm not just talking about my patrons. I'm talking about people, like they're like, I could make a video like, I'm not completely unself-aware. Like, I make some videos that are pretty good, and I make some videos that are shit. And, out of my 30,000 something subscribers, like there are like about 3,000 people that will watch all of my videos, even my ones that aren't that great. And I feel like that's like really my core, and this is the group of people that really get me. So I'm just gonna be me. I'm just gonna make videos. So aside from reacting to shit, like I said, I did want to make some personal fucking videos talking about some of the treatments that I've been undergoing, and what I kind of think about that, because there's actually some interesting stuff going on. And then I also want to make some more, like, I guess, positive videos, if that makes sense. In other words, not just reacting and ripping apart some retard, but some videos kind of talking about more positive things, like like positive ideas of fucking manhood, or like, how to relate to people, how to do things, etc. I got a few ideas I'm kicking around. So yeah, I think I'm going to proceed with like a variety, kind of mix it up a little bit. Mix in a few just personal videos where I'm talking about shit, mix in some videos that, show a positive thing, and then mix in some videos where I'm just ripping things down. And I think I would feel better doing that kind of mixture. My third Patreon comment comes from John. He says, "It's interesting seeing your views on games. You seem to play some fun ones that are not too well known. I've talked a little bit about games already. Hell, even if you did a series on games you grew up with or something, that might be interesting. I've actually thought about doing like a video or two, or something, talking about some old games. But the thing is, I grew up, like, my first gaming system was Atari 2600. So we're talking about some old ass shit. I grew up with the Nintendo and Super Nintendo. But yeah, I think there are a lot of good games. There are a lot of good old games. And I'm not really a retro gamer. I don't like go back and play them so much. Very rarely do I. And he says, "As for your views on regressives, feminism, and stream sluts, those are always fun to see since you have such great sarcastic edge. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate your support. It definitely means a lot to me, and it really does help me out. I'm not like some wealthy guy or anything like that, for real. And my wife doesn't work. She stays home with the kids. So I am the sole source of income for my family. Because like I said, I'm a traditionalist, and I kind of run things old school in my house. And I guess while I'm on the topic, I might as well throw out a shameless plug for myself. If you've made it this far in the video, if you haven't already, consider, clicking on my Patreon link. And consider, throwing a buck at me or something. I would definitely appreciate it. If you don't want to, or you can't, or, whatever, don't worry about it. It's not, I'm still going to keep making my shit for everybody, like free of charge, and uploading it on YouTube until, they fucking ban me or whatever. But, I try to offer some rewards and shit to the patrons. So, consider checking that out. Normally at this point, I would kind of respond to some comments. I might do that like in a separate video, because this is already a really fucking long video. I might do like Spacelord reads comments or something. But I think I'm going to cut this one here, and very soon, maybe even tonight, I'm going to start working on a few videos. Like I said, I have the testosterone videos I'm going to be working on, and then I have a few things that I really want to react to. And then I have a few other videos planned that are like more positive roles and shit. So look for those. And right now with streaming, if you don't follow me on Twitter, I always announce my stream. I try to announce it a few hours in advance. But if I'm not able to, I'll throw it up there last minute, nothing else. But my plan is to try to stream on Friday nights around 10 Central Time. But it kind of depends. Sometimes I haven't, because I'm just wiped, and I don't want to get on stream and just be fucking brain dead and not talking and just boring as fuck. I'm not terribly exciting in the first place, so there's no reason to push that fucking thing. Although I might not be doing like the dual stream anymore, because I don't know if you guys heard or not, there's been a thing going on. It's like the new trolling thing under the new YouTube. I need to talk about YouTube. But anyway, basically people who have been streaming on YouTube are getting flagged by people who are like doing it to troll. They think it's funny, and people are getting their channels completely fucked from it. And that's just not something I need, just to get a couple other people watching my stream. So I think I'm going to keep my stream over on Twitch only for now, until, further notice or whatever. But anyway, I'm cutting the video here. Let me know in the comments what you think about some of my views, about some of, the video plans I have or whatever. And what kind of, if you have a preference about what kind of games, you would enjoy seeing in the background, I'll for real consider playing them. You would most definitely see them at least for a couple of videos, if I have, like 2 or 3 people requesting a game. All right, that's it for now. I'll see you guys next time.